Hey guys, today we'll be doing a 6.2 water pump on this engine. I honestly think the 6.2 water pumps are probably the easiest pumps that Mercury has ever made. The 6.2 and the 4.5. So, gotta take our belt off. Oh, wrong way. Take our belt off. It's a 13mm bolt. Have your ratchet in the tightening position. The next thing we gotta do, we gotta have a plug ready. And it's 4 10mm bolts that hold on the pump. So you'll actually be able to see. I won't be able to see too much. Down here, there's one in that bottom corner, one in the bottom corner up here, one up above, kind of one right there. Those are all 10mm bolts. If you have a through hole, turn your through hole off. This has it's a C core, so there's 2 through holes, one on the drive and one on the C basket. So I kind of just go in there. I can't see too much of it. Break it free. And there's 3 bolts of one size and 1 of another. So that bilge pump works, so we know at least one is good. So that one's long. And it will start to leak. This is a stern drive application, so we can't shut off all the water. Oh wow, the gasket's gone. Let's put our plug inside. There we go. Let's take a look at our new water pump, make sure we've got the right one. Okay guys, we're back here. For you guys it was just a second, for me it was like an hour. Either way, here's our 4 bolts. We got 3 longs, 1 short. The 1 short is in the bottom corner, closest towards the fuel filter. So if you're thinking about it, if this is the front of the boat's that way, it's going to be your starboard bottommost. They made this real easy, so the impeller will stay in. Here, now these plates, they wear out. You can't just buy an impeller for some reason, so it looks like at one point they might have just put this piece back together because it wasn't even attached. So these plates go bad. They don't last forever. These 2 bolts we reuse. We want to make sure with our plate that we have the right one. So we got this. You're going to want to look at the backing. There's a couple different part numbers. We got part number 8M0137220. Then there's also 221 and the 222. So you need to know which one you have. And a lot of these pumps have been updated. So I had another pump plate that had one that goes straight down the middle. And that had actually come up for the serial number, but just because it came up for the serial number doesn't mean somebody hasn't replaced the pump with a different pump. They all fit this engine. So this one, we'll take a look. Here's our new plate. Let's take a look at what this one looks like. Yep. Now what we're gonna do is pull this impeller out. Now my kind of impeller puller of choice is this. This is a Harbor Freight tool. And I just kind of grab the pump, hold it, let the pulley spin, and it kind of spins itself out. Yeah, so somebody's been in here and replaced a pump before, because we can see in here that this is white. The actual pumps, so somebody just replaced the pump, not any of the gasketing. That one is not the open one, this is the open one. The standard for these is red, and it comes with a wear plate. So we're gonna drop that wear plate in. We can see there's a lot of sand, you can see the notches. I can feel it with my fingers, so it has done some damage to the pump. Oops, did I get that in backwards? I think I sure did. Let's see if I got my pick tool. There we go. Got it in. And now you can see that there's some 2,4-C on this. That's fine. That kind of helps it keep from corroding. You don't have to, especially if you're in freshwater, but putting something at least in here, if you're not a stern drive and it's not in the water, so it doesn't run dry the very first time, is important. So I kind of line up the notches on the shaft and I twist the housing so you can kind of see from a side view that the impeller doesn't move. There you go. I just kind of push on it hard. Spin it. And then we can see the impeller's flush. Now there's water in here, so there's not going to be too many problems with running dry, especially since this is a stern drive. It's going to immediately start up with water behind it, since this is an in-water boat. So what I do with these, you can actually put them on and get the bolts to line up and it be out of position. You can kind of see how there's a little gap here. You do it until you can feel it in the groove. I kind of wiggle it around. And then I hand thread these 2 bolts. All these bolts do is retain this plate. They don't have any kind of real sealing effect. Okay. So that one's down. That one's down. Ready to go. Now the pump has the little blue plugs facing starboard. So we'll take a look here in a moment. So what I like to do to work with these pumps is I get my socket and a long extension without a ratchet. I'll actually get in here and I'll take the plug out and I'll hand thread this in, and then I'll hand thread one on the opposite corner and then get all 4 of them done, or all the other 2 in, so all 4 of them are at least hand tight. And then I'll go in there and wiggle this around until I feel these pieces of rubber fit in their groove, which is down on the pump in here. Let's see if I can show you guys. You can kind of see the groove down there. It's not super easy to see. So let's get it started. So one's hand threaded. The stubby one is the one in the bottom corner. And this one. And then this one. So now that I've got it, I'll kind of try to fit it in its little groove. And if you don't get this fit in the groove, there will be a leak
And if you actually compress it without having it in the groove, you'll need a new plate. The plate will never reseal because it crushes the rubber on the plate. Just be aware of that. There you go. If we did it right, you shouldn't have any leaks. So we'll wipe the bottom of this off on the side, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes and check underneath for any kind of leaks. So once you've checked for leaks and you're sure that there's no leaks, we can put our belt back on. I like to make sure that the part number is out so you can read it. Go here, around here, around here. I'll make sure to get it on all the pulleys correctly. And then I kind of hold it like that. Get your 13 mils. There you go. Okay. So I always go around and check that the belt's in each pulley, and it is. So we're good. Water pump is done. That's how to do a water pump on the new Mercury 6.2s with catalytic converters.